Well, the European Convention on Human Rights was adopted into domestic British law by the last Labour government in 1998. It has been a key part of legal infrastructure here ever since, but it has been controversial at times, with some on the Conservative side saying that judges have and lawyers have really stretched the boundaries of how it should have been applied. And so since 2010, the Conservative government, first under David Cameron, then Theresa May, and now under Boris Johnson, has been calling for a change to the way that it's operated and this idea of a British Bill of Rights. Now, they wouldn't be pulling out of the European Convention on Human Rights. They would simply be redrafting its adoption into British legislation and making it so that the judgments themselves weren't as sort of strong and commanding as they were over what can be done in Britain. They say that they will guarantee most of the same rights, but critics are saying that what they're actually trying to do with this adoption is to make it so that the government is much more powerful, so that legal challenges on a human rights basis against government policies aren't as successful as they have been. So some people are saying they're simply trying to change the law to make things a lot easier for themselves.
So, Vinny, then, is this going to diminish rights in the UK?
Well, the government claims that it won't, but many lawyers and academics say that it will, of course, do that, and that is a concern. Groups like Amnesty International coming out saying it's very concerning, and lots of lawyers just simply saying, this is such a pillar of UK judgments. But it's very clear this has been on the cards, particularly for Dominic Raab, who himself was a solicitor 13 years ago before he was an MP. When he was a staffer for a senior MP at the time, he wrote a lengthy book decrying human rights legislation adoption into the UK and has been quoted as saying he doesn't believe in social and economic rights personally. So he is someone who is very much against human rights legislation, but he is trying to say with what he's introducing in this new British Bill of Rights that it's just a change in the way it's all going to work. It'll be less control from a court in Strasbourg, and it'll be more at the discretion of British judges as to what they do with those judgments, and particularly, of course, after the embarrassing fiasco of that first flight to Rwanda last week, which wasn't allowed to depart because of a last-minute judgment from the court in Strasbourg. They think that they now have grounds to do this.